So when I was younger, we had a show, and it was on BET, and it was called Teen Summit. And for us, it was like the show to watch. We would run home after school, and we would be like, "Man, we got to watch Teen Summit to see what they're talking about." And it was just like a couple co-hosts and hosts, and they would have just discussions about life and issues and things from a teen point of view. And so it was really cool because we could sit there and just kind of go, wow, we could relate. Or, the next day we'd be like, did you hear what happened on Teen Summit? And they had cool guests and positive kids doing positive things. Um, and that show ended right about, I think, 2002, about 16 years ago. And, the interesting thing is that, I've worked with kids over the last probably 10, 15 years. I've spoken in the schools for about 8 years. Um, I've done teen drama. I have done teen programs. I was featured on TBN discussing a program I developed, an abstinence program. I've worked with countless teens in my own home. I've raised not only my kids, I've raised 15 other kids. They all knew who they are. We didn't play. But just being a sounding board for them. And, one of the big things I noticed was that a lot of parents would be like, what are my kids thinking? I don't understand. This is a lost generation and I don't get the kids. And then the kids are saying the same thing about their parents. I can't talk to my parents. I don't know how to communicate, or they don't understand. And that's a big one. And I was in the school for many years, talking to several classes a day, and we'd hear the same thing, like, I don't get my parent, they don't get me, I can't tell them this, they don't understand, I can't tell them that. And so recently, I guess with the advent of, my daughter, Lauren Williams, she got her wig snatched off in school, and they taped it for social media, and it went viral. Tyra Banks got involved, other shows. We're talking about her, and it affected her life in a big way. It affected all of our lives. But just to see like kids coming from north, south, east, west, different countries, Belize. We had kids from British Columbia. We had kids from Haiti writing us and saying, "Hey, you understand. You're going through what I'm going through." And I started thinking, I was realizing, even though we're more social as a country with social media and social networking, kids are more isolated than ever before. I didn't have a lot of the challenges that they have growing up. And so a lot of us can say, well, when I was young, this happened or that happened. But yeah, when you were young, they didn't have cyber bullying. They didn't have easy access to pornography with a click of a button. They didn't have black internet. They didn't have, these sort of things going on where you could touch a button and access millions of people in millions of positions. So we can't exactly see things from their point of view totally. And that's expected. That's understandable. We are from a different generation. And we can't say they're a lost generation either, because the kids that I've talked to, some of the kids are more mature than some of the adults that I've met. I've seen kids that are, getting good education, that have their life together. And some kids who are helping their parents out, and so it's not all a lost generation, but there's a lot of communication barriers. And so I've developed a teen talk show, and I think that that's kind of what's missing, because BET, it ended 16 years ago, and the kids that were born during the time that BET ended are 16 now. It's a whole new generation that's been born, and the parents, us who watched BET, now have teenagers of our own that we don't know how to relate to. And so me getting so many parents flooding my inbox saying, well, I don't know how to talk to them, or I'm going through this and I don't know what to do, it kind of showed me that there's a need out there. And where do we plug in? My daughter, she just graduated from Harvard Law, in May. And people come to me, well, how did you, keep that motivation and inspiration for your kids? And how did you do this? And so I think it would be a really good thing to be able to start to bridge that gap and kind of show parents, maybe our generation, like, hey, this is what they're talking about, this is what they're thinking, this is what they're doing. And also show the kids, hey, you can have a community of others who understand what you're going through. You can have a community of kids who you can come to, you could talk to, you could let them know about your issues. And they're a sounding board, for you too, because even though, like I said, they're more social, they're more isolated. I was thinking about that movie, The Breakfast Club, that we all watched when we were kids. 5 teenagers in detention, and they form this great bond. If we had The Breakfast Club nowadays, it would be 5 teenagers, and they'd be on their phones. And maybe they'd talk to each other, say, oh, look at this, or look at that on my phone. And then they go back to their own world. And so that's the difference. The difference is that there's a lack of communication and there's isolation. And so when I looked at the figures and I saw the teen suicide rate has doubled in the last 10 years, that says something. Like, why are we more social, but more kids are killing themselves? Why are we so social, but more kids are on antidepressants? Why are we more social and more kids are in therapy and counseling and feel like they're lost and alone? So that's something to think about. And so what I want to do is bridge that gap. And I think this show is going to be an amazing idea to do that. It's called Inside Homeroom 615. And it's starring my daughter as the host, Lulu Wiliams, and her friend, JonezyOfficial Jones. And they are a great group of kids. Like, these kids are positive. They're doing things. They know other kids that are doing things, so they can highlight other teens. The goal of this show is to kind of get together and discuss the issues. We want to talk about stuff that are affecting teens, such as the cyberbullying, such as online. What goes on if some guy sends you this sort of picture, or what happens when you are feeling attacked, or what happens when, I don't know, people are handing you a certain type of drug and telling you it's normal and natural. And a lot of us older people have been through that, but some of the younger people have no clue, and they talk to each other rather than talk to parents. And so just getting the kids together and talking about this show has given me such revelations, because a lot of them are like, well, they need to know this. And I'm asking the tough questions. I'm like, what do you want your parents to know? What do you want society to know? We're doing all this political fighting. The country is divided. In the schools, people are going in with weapons and shooting. There's so many political things going on, and movements. The Black Lives Matter. We're doing this, we're doing that. But nobody's really listening to what the kids think about any of it. Like, we're not even asking the teenagers, what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about that? And so I think there's something missing. And that something missing is allowing them to have a voice. Because part of their frustration is just saying, I don't feel heard. And being heard is so close to being loved that people can't really tell the difference. If you find someone that really listens to you and really empathizes and listens to your heart, you feel a deeper bond with them than other people. And so we want to give them that ear and that voice. And so we're partnering with several amazing schools and organizations who want to film on their campus. And so I'm pretty excited, because I think that this is something that's been a long time in coming. And I think that there is an audience for it. And so if you're a parent, I want you to watch this, because I want you to feel more connected to your teen and be able to have those discussions, even if you watch it together. And if you're a teen, I want you to watch it so you see what other teens are talking about and know that you're not alone in certain things that you're going through. And so that's the goal, is bridging that gap, bringing people together so we can once again be the village, see where our kids are lacking or hurting or suffering, and be able to come and provide those needs or help meet those needs. We're going to have young entrepreneurs on the show. We're going to have young musical artists. We're also going to be talking to just groups of teens on the street and seeing, how do they feel about this? How do they feel about that? So you guys will be able to get a variety of viewpoints. It's going to be multicultural. We have 2 main hosts, but 2 of our co-hosts are from other cultures. And so we'll be bringing in a variety of views from that aspect. So I would love for you guys to watch the show. I'd love for you to if you have any questions about it, to hit me up and let me know. We're doing a Gmail. It is insidehr615@gmail.com. So if you have any questions or you have a story that you maybe want to share, we're getting ready to film the episodes in early September. So I'm looking forward to that. But you can email us and say, hey, I have a question, or this is something I want you to ask on the show, or this is something I would think would be a great discussion or topic to talk about. And we're definitely going to have a parent show. So I want some parents and kids to kind of face off and talk about, hey, where is this gap coming in and what can I do to be that support system for you? So a lot of things that we're working on. We've been filming and taking pictures and working on it every day for about a month. So it's coming along, and we're going to make some moves with this. So I want you guys to stay tuned. But if you have, like I said, email us if you have any ideas and have any questions. Look forward to showing you this show. It's going to be really fantastic. Guys, have a blessed day.